they do. You come from the back or the front, either way.
And
oh, yeah.
Looks
Here
like
we
we're
go.
jumping right into it, ladies and gentlemen. So let's dive into our very first match of the day here and see if we can actually have Eclipse maybe get knocked out a bit early here by the Kangorillaz.
Yes, now your blue team is going to be Eclipse and your orange team is going to be the Kangorillaz. So keep in mind, Lemming and Eyeshiny are going to be your strikers that run up to the goal. Lemming's a heavy puncher, though. You're going to catch those stuns from him. The Lemming's team here, or I guess if we want to call them that, Eclipse, you can see the team names now coming up for you. They are absolute fans of what we call juking in this, which is very similar to juking and anything else. So you'll see them moving around a lot. You'll see a lot of momentum management as people push off each other and try to get there as fast as they can.
Of course, we can see there's actually just a big scuffle right now. Eclipse is doing a great job so far of keeping the disc under their control and keeping the pressure on, and there we go. Only a two-pointer, and we should explain this as well. You may be able to see it right now that there's a three-point line there at the bottom of the screen. It's kind of a hollowed bubble around the goal. If you throw the disc from outside of that bubble and that goes into the goal, it's going to score 3 points instead of 2 points, so helps for those teams that may be behind or obviously want to get ahead a little bit early here if they can go for that long-range goal. But that's not necessarily easy to do.
And the disc itself actually has a big 3 on it until you cross that barrier. Then it has 2, but it's only when you're holding it. So you actually hear that noise. If you're holding onto the disc and you put your hand through the 3-point sphere, you'll hear it make a noise letting you know that it's now only worth 2 if you let it go.
That was Palador, of course, that got the first goal of the game, by the way. But now the Kangorillaz picking up control early on. Let's see if they're going to be able to hold on to it. Still being kept on the defensive here. They get a nice clear out. They've got their front man ready to pick this up, too. I believe that's going to be Grumpy.
He's going to go for it.
He's got a pretty good shot at this one, but he's going to have some resistance coming in a second. His teammate tries to assist him. Doesn't work out, and Palador now gets the clear, sending it back over to the Kangorillaz side of the arena.
Yeah, Palador is their big defender, so you're not going to get it past him easily. And when the defender pulls up, that's when stuff gets trouble.
Shiny not necessarily going to have an easy goal, but a good juke around the goal. Tries to send it up, but his teammate not necessarily ready to grab it just as of yet. However, they still maintain control, still going to keep the pressure on, and now they slap it right in. Eyeshiny will get a second goal for Eclipse.
It's a textbook attack for them. They send a guy in to knock out the goalie. They put another guy in a lateral position so you can toss it to him. And if he can pick up the 3, he'll go for it. If he can't, he'll rush in. And if he can't do that, then he'll toss it down to the guy that they're now ignoring. People focus on the disc, and if you can split their focus by passing it around a lot, then you can actually catch them off guard. It's very hard to watch all things. You'll actually watch these guys. You can see their head. It is a virtual reality game, so you can actually see an expression of who they are and how they move their body, and you'll see heads on a swivel like no from the professional teams.
Here comes the launch now. Players going to be moving out again. This will be Kangorillaz getting the opener, trying to maintain that control. The initial pass goes over to Stealable Bag, tries to throw it up. Sadly, no, he actually gets the block off there, so he's going to be able to maintain himself at the time being. And now Loveridge will move forward over towards the goal. He's got one teammate working with him. We should see a launch from the other blue player. Oh, nicely done by Loveridge.
And the big problem there is that Eyeshiny was the goalie, and he is not their goalie, so he can't defend. And this is actually one of the weaknesses they say of Eclipse, is that they're not really big on defending, and they're not good at defending because they rarely have to. But Eclipse has said that with the new joust mechanic where it changes possession essentially based on the opposite, the team that got scored on, that generally if everything goes well, the team that has joust advantage is going to be the one to score, and you're just hoping that they'll mess up. The EU guys disagree. They said you'd pick apart their attack, the quarterback being the guy that you're going to follow here. All right, Palador, obviously the quarterback for that team. It's generally the guy who's your main defender runs quarterback for you, or your best player on your team, which is usually the same guy.
Keeping it back on their side of the arena for right now, though. Haven't tried to progress too much just yet, but now we're going to start to see the push forward. It's Eyeshiny with the disc currently. Wait for a teammate to get closer, but Stealable Bag moves in. However, Shiny denies the punch, gets the block off just in time, knocks him out for a couple of seconds there. Regardless of the Kangorillaz get back possession, at least for a moment here. May not be staying that way, though. You can see some of those upside-down players. Lemming specifically moves in, gets back possession. He's going to go right for the goal more than likely here. Trying to go for the bank shot off the back, and it works as Lemming scores yet another goal here for our blue team Eclipse, and they go up 6-2 now.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody on the team getting points on the board. They're actually saying, no one's carrying now. We play as a team. And this is something that was interesting about the new joust mechanics, is it pulls up all the other players, the skill gap's decreased, then now all your players pull up versus your defender hanging back in a midfield position in case something bad happens.
Yeah. So this is going to go back to giving possession for Kangorillaz at the start of the round as a result of their opponents scoring most recently. We are just about halfway through the first round here, ladies and gentlemen. These matches are played on a best-of-3 basis, the winner of which moving on, and in this case, the loser going down to the lower bracket, since these are still upper bracket games. Stealable Bag trying to hold possession for right now, trying to juke around it. Nicely done. Gets the clear.
Tossed it to nobody.
Yeah, that's the bad part, though, is it was basically just a throwaway to buy some time for himself and his teammates to get into better positions. So we'll go back over to Eclipse for now.
Almost felt like a little bit of panic. Palador, though, in great quarterback position, tosses it over to Lemming. Lemming is looking for a piece of Eyeshiny and gets him in the cherry.
Nice. He's going to pick that up. Let's see. Can he get it inside? Oh, blocked by the goalie. That's going to be Sealable Bag, I believe, holding on to things, keeping it alive and well for the orange team here as Kangorillaz try to bring it back, but they are running low on time. They're still going to need a couple more goals here. Sadly, the possession has been very much in the favor of Eclipse, and they're about to move in, maybe to go for another goal. Kangorillaz well set up on the defense, but is it well enough as they're going to try to swoop in? The disc gets tossed back once again to Palladors. He's going to try to move in for a shot and gets it in right between the goalie's legs, scoring a 4th goal now for Eclipse.
He was waiting for him to knock out the goalie, and the goalie went to protect his head, and he waited for him to drop his protection and then knocked him in the head. And that's how they do it. That's a very common tactic that you're going to see from most players, especially Eclipse. Is they pass it back and forth in order to retain possession and wait for someone to knock out the goalie to get their shot. Or actually, there was a part there too. You could actually see some of the moves he was making. He was trying to see if he could lure the goalie out of the goal, and the goalie wasn't having it. Now, for Kangorillaz, their goalie's actually Grumpiest Broom. Earlier, it was the team captain who had to run over there because Grumpiest Broom was out of position. And that happens. Like, when you only got 3 guys, you have to make use of all of your teammates.
It is going to be one of the members of Eclipse trying to push themselves upfield here. Grumpiest Broom moving in, but he's going to get surrounded. Does have a teammate coming in to save, but yeah, there's no way Sealable Bag holds on, especially with Grumpy getting knocked out. Grumpy's back in the fight, though. Gets the clear, and there we go. A 3-pointer out of nowhere coming out from the Kangorillaz.
29 meters on that one. Now, see, this is also something you're going to see at professional level play. People have gotten really good at long shots. However, the team that's not good at long shots is Eclipse. They're not really good, especially Lemming and iShiny. These are not laser arm guys, and Lemming being the worst. He dings it more than he gets it in the goal. But several of the other teams have like a great striker, somebody can hit from a distance, and some of the EU teams have several members, either 2 or 3 of them, that can hit it from like half court. So it's definitely do not leave the goal open if you can help it. Got to form up with your teammates.
Well, they're all going to dive back into it now. And if we can see another 3-pointer like that for the Kangorillaz, they may be able to tie this up and take it into OT, but as far as it's concerned right now, Eclipse still very much has control, especially now that they're going to be able to start off with possession going into this round.
Loveridge get that 3. Oh, no, tosses it up. Sealable in position, but he's not going to get it past Pallador. There's no way. Not when Pallador's in goal. Now, that's the goalie's main job, really, is to convert a 3-pointer to a 2-pointer. But here lately, you've noticed that these high-level play that the goalies have gotten so good that they can actually stop it if you get them real close, which is why the main tactic is to try to knock the goalie out. However, you see for some of the EU players that you'll knock them out and they'll still use their head to stop the disc. And all knocking you out does is make your hands not work and just render your speed to 0 and prevent you from using your boosters for a short period of time. But you can still move your head and hit that disc with it.
Really aggressive fight going on between both teams right now, as finally we see Eclipse able to clear it, but that's going to be the goalie from our orange team here, Kangorillaz. That's going to send Loveridge a little bit further up on the field. And now Loveridge just barely gets that clear off in time. The bounce, though, misses, and so his teammate's not going to be able to pick that up as quickly as he would have liked.
Oh, yeah, man. It's not a favorable position, but right now Eclipse can just run down the clock. So they're going to keep the pressure on, but they're going to play defensively so they don't give up that 3-pointer.
10 seconds remaining in the round, guys, here. So unless we could see an amazing 3-pointer coming out from the Kangorillaz.
They got time.
Round number 1. Will
they're not going to watch the clock, man. Watch the clock.
Can they get this off?
Oh,
no.
It was stopped anyway, though. Even though they didn't meet the timer, it would have been stopped by Pallador there. He was in position ready for it.
So our first round is going to go to Eclipse. Like we said before, guys, these are played on a best-of-3 basis, so we'll reset it really quickly. Jumping into our second round, I'm sure, in just a couple of moments. You can see the stats, though.